Hi Libra, I hope you guys are doing great. I'm gonna spray some lavender here mixed with sage. Let's get some good vibes going for our Libra friends. We had a lot of crazy energy going on this week. The readings are going to cover from the 7th to the 13th mainly, but we do have this Gemini new moon solar eclipse on Thursday the 10th, and this is on the heels of that 26th, the lunar eclipse on the May 26th that we had. It's going to be conjunct Mercury retrograde, squared Neptune, along with Saturn squaring Uranus. This is going to be like a little bit of a weird week. This is the energy is really hitting this week, right? A little destabilizing. So the spiritual meaning of this energy relates to like mental confusion, deceptive communication, vulnerability. The stuff, it's like Mercury retrograde on steroids, really, because there's such a focus on it. And typically the new moon is really positive, and it will be. This is definitely going to be positive, but it's just going to, not right away. Things are going to be very confusing for us initially, all right? So we have this new moon energy, beautiful. We have that Mercury retrograde, though, and all of this is happening in your 9th house. So that 9th house is going to be very confusing for you right now. And what is the 9th house? It's what pulls you forward. It's your ability to view your life at a distance. It's your ability to sense the direction in which something is heading, that relationship, that job, where is it going? It's the search for the meaning and the purpose and just the direction, right, of your life. And because Mercury is going to be retrograde in there, and it's going to be hanging out with this new moon energy in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, all of this mercurial mental energy is going to be floating around, but in a way where you're going to feel like there's this new thing that's just about to happen, but you're not going to have complete clarity about anything. So we all know about Mercury retrograde already, but that is the one thing that's tripping all of this energy up. Right? That's what's gonna, I mean, we all know about the communication, the technology breakdowns, the nervous anxiety, the travel delays, the potential to lose items a little easier. We can all expect, particularly I feel like, because this is hitting your 9th house, don't be surprised if you're dwelling on things more than you normally would. This idea of being reminiscent about the past, unexpectedly meeting up with people from your past, feeling like it's all very serendipitous, but just check everything having to do with all modes of communication. Now, the eclipse is also squaring Neptune, and this can have a weakening effect on your energy. It just can, making it hard to get motivated or really enthusiastic about anything, especially anything that's going to require a lot of hard work. It's kind of like a very in your head energy, because remember, right, Neptune is all about the underneath. It's the hidden, and Neptune rules disease, right? It rules anything that we can't see. It's the underworld. It's the underworld, right? So having to do with our emotions, right? So events or other people can cause confusion and disappointment right now. You might even be in a space where you're feeling kind of insecure. Some of you might even be feeling guilty or even very apologetic about something. Personal relationships can be kind of wonky. They can be subject to dishonesty and deception right now. Secrets are going to be harder to keep and harder to uncover. So really be careful that you're not being too gullible right now or too overly vulnerable in that way. Anything like that, right? Now, we also have that Mercury retrograde squaring Neptune, more confusion, deception, insecurity, misunderstandings, a lot of very distorted thinking, which is going to be the trippy part. And that distorted thinking can complicate discussions, talks that you need to have, any sort of business dealing even. And even little white lies could lead to bigger things, right? Major embarrassment or the need for like some sort of crazy convoluted cover-up. So you just want to try to avoid that if you can. And then on the 14th, we have culminating the Saturn squaring Uranus. And this is going to be happening between your 5th and 8th house. So the 5th house has to do with romance and children, right? That's where Saturn is hanging out. Romance, children, creativity, entrepreneurial efforts, how you connect with your partner. And it's going to be in square, which means tension with the 8th house, which is how you show up as a we in relationships. So 5th house is me, 8th house is we, right? When it comes to romance, when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to sharing, right? 8th house is your partner's money. It's looking at your partner's money. It's looking at your partner's ability to show up as far as being equitable regarding finances, communication, intimacy, all of that. 8th house is also, is going to be shocking surprises here for you right now. There, or at least some very clear epiphanies. If it doesn't have anything to do with relationship energy, 8th house is also a money house, having to do with inheritance, insurance payout. Again, your partner's money, selling of a home, purchasing of a home, anything like that. Anything that would indicate cycles. It even rules the stock market, right? But there's this tension between what you want to do and this idea of showing up as a we, or how you want things to be and how things are being presented. So this can hit several different areas of your life, you know. So I feel like there's this move forward. You're kind of trying to look at your life down the road, this long-term sort of snapshot, and you're just like, I don't know. I'm just not sure. Did you see that 10 of Swords came out? If you play that back, I think I saw that in the camera. Oh, and here's the 7 of Swords about dishonesty. Okay, dishonesty. Yeah, somebody being very challenging right now. Expect the unexpected, Libra. Expect the unexpected. But this is somebody who creates a lot of drama and they don't take any responsibility for what they're doing. So let's see what we have here. Hangman in reverse. So let's see. We have take the lead. Take that. Now this part of the reading can apply to any part of your life, okay? This really is on the heels of the eclipse energy here. So we have take the lead being clarified by the never-ending story. So if there's something that's very cyclical that's happening in your life right now, you really need to be the one, it does seem like, to step forward in front of it and try to figure out how you can stop whatever it is that's this cyclical kind of thing. We have temptation. You're being tempted by something or someone. So this could be a temptation to just leave something, or to step out. The idea of temptation can be a play within a situation that you're involved in right now. So some of you may be dealing with some sort of affair. Some of you may be entertaining the idea, anything like that. This could also be the temptation of just sort of saying, the hell with all of this. I want to go and do X, Y, and Z, right? Where there's not another person involved in it, but it's just this sort of wanting to break free and just kind of break away from everything, Libra, because keep in mind, right, we have the new moon wanting to manifest some sort of new belief system in you, right? I mean, this is what's going on with this eclipse. It's really wanting to manifest some sort of new personal philosophy. But because of the Mercury retrograde, it's confusing for you. And at the same time, that eclipse is squaring nebulous Neptune, which is like trying to look at reality through a thick fog or a dirty window. You just don't know. And taking it a step further, it's kind of the conversation could be something like, if I do this in my life, will I end up feeling sorry later on? Am I going to end up needing to sacrifice what I really want in my life just to be able to make this thing work? Because that's Neptune. Neptune is it rules Pisces, right? It's the rule of the 12th house, where it's like, do I have to martyr myself? Am I going to be victimized? You know, do I have to sacrifice myself in order to make something work? And this is where it's going to be a little trippy. Neptune is hanging out in your 6th house of your day-to-day work environment, but it's also your mental, physical, and emotional health and how you run your day-to-day. So you're going to have to sacrifice something. You know, if you want to really kind of amp up your belief system, is it going to mean needing to sacrifice something that you're doing in your life on a day-to-day, or how it is that you feel now, or what you believe in now, or what you're involved in now? So there's going to be, there's sort of this transitioning over, and that could very well impact the area of relationship for you, right? Because that square, that Saturn square Uranus, that's going to bring a lot of restricted change or unexpected restrictions. It can bring change that you don't want, and it also makes it harder to make the kind of changes that you do want. It's just hard, right? It can be a very frustrating time with rising tension and sudden changes, but it doesn't have to be all negative, the guys. If you can stay very open-minded and very patient and very flexible, what at first seems like a difficulty or a challenge can be turned into an opportunity to get rid of the negativity and the restriction and the limiting things in your life, you know. But some of you, it may be you're going to need to step away from a situation and really do some thinking. and figure out, if something's not working right in your life up to this point, you have to understand that it's because it's not meant to. It's not good for you. So some of you are going to be doing a lot of reflection regarding relationship, your patterns in relationship and stuff like that, so that you don't repeat those things. Others of you are recognizing that if you're going to make a relationship work, you have to put more time and invest more energy into it. Whether this is a marriage, a business partnership, and any other kind of intimate partnership, if something's not feeling right, but it's still in your life, you may need to recognize that it requires more attention and weight in your life. Now, some of you, if it has to do with career or money, it's time for you to step back and figure out what's not working here. Remember, the Hermit's Virgo, and Virgo is all about solving problems, right? So it's problem-solving energy. So you might need to try a different path, a different approach, something, right? Some of you may even be meeting a mentor during this energy that is going to end up helping you out on your path. It could be a therapist, a lawyer, and a new employer. It could be anybody, depending on what your situation is. Now we have reflect on your truth. Yeah. Yeah, Libra, I mean, like, what do you really, really want? What do you really want? Get inside, get in touch with the tender side of yourself. This is really focusing on not only your truth, but what it is that you love and what it is that you want to bring to yourself. What makes you feel warm? What makes you feel loved and wanted and comfortable in your life? So almost a very, I'm going to say maternal energy, but it's that, like, where do you feel like that sweet spot? Like, are you in a sweet spot in your life right now? Do you feel, and you may be, having to do with various relationships and connections and situations in your life, but figure out where you're not and really kind of lean into that truth. Where are you feeling love? Do you love what you do? I mean, love is not only about intimacy. Love is literally about feeling accepted and feeling at peace and at home with a particular situation or an energy. But I feel like when you ask yourself that, you're like, I have no idea, woman. I don't know what you're saying to me right now. I don't know. Good question, right? Because here with the Hangman reverse, it's you need to reevaluate your expectations to see if what you want to do or what you expect is a realistic possibility. So if you're daydreaming about breaking free and starting that business and saying, the hell with all of this, I'm going to go and travel the world, or I'm going to leave this relationship to get into that one, or you know what I mean, that kind of like grass is greener on the other side sort of sensibility. You just want to be careful here. Be careful of rigid thinking or martyrdom at the same time, like what I was mentioning before. Or you might even be dealing with this kind of energy showing up in somebody that you're dealing with. But you have to see if some kind of fantasy or false narrative isn't being held onto right now. Looking over things with some honesty and see if you can't, at this point, kind of break yourself away from a situation that will not be able to ultimately give you what you want. And you just know it's not. No matter how you try to dress it up. It's kind of like, it's at the point, Libra, where it sort of has to be like, the days are sort of done of you saying, if only they would communicate more, if only they'd be more romantic, if only they had more money, if only they had a job, if only this job allowed me more freedom in my life, if only I could work at home, if only, do you know what I mean? It's sort of like this moment of reckoning where you're going to be able to see very clearly where you've been making excuses along the path, and you're going to kind of be calling yourself out on it, even though you may not know what that even means. You might not know what's on the other side of that, but you have to trust in the divine plan of it all. We have to, right? I mean, isn't that, what other choice do we have? You have to trust in the divine plan and recognize there's no place like home. I feel like it's like, Libra, getting down to the basics. If you're in a relationship with anybody has narcissistic tendencies, if they are not loving you the way that you deserve, if they're not being fair, if it's not equitable, if you're in that job where you're working all of these hours and you're just not making the money, it's all of these things. It doesn't make you feel good. You're going to be going after something that it's very, very important for you right now to feel like I'm willing to work at A, B, and C as long as I feel like there's reciprocity, as long as I feel like there's things are equitable, and I'm able to live my life in something where I feel like things are more balanced than they are right now. But there, I am going to say it. I know a lot of Libras come after me in the comments, and I say this analysis paralysis thing, Libra, you have to know yourself. And I'm talking about Libra, the archetype. I don't know you. I don't know what else is aspecting your chart, but procrastination, yes, that analysis paralysis, because you could see many sides of several things. And maybe if they go to therapy, or maybe if we keep working at this, or maybe, dangerous one, maybe if we have a baby, or maybe if they get a job, or maybe if, fill in the blank, maybe. And so you keep kicking the bucket down the road, but you're not really going to be able to do that anymore. And that's the thing. You're going to be, because this is the thing, you're going to be calling yourself out on the procrastination. People in your life might be holding the mirror up to you, but that's okay. If they love you, they're doing it because they love you. But you need to make a decision here. And then we have the star. This is about hope and guidance and a change for the better after a really difficult time. So first of all, the star does indicate that you're meant to be with somebody, right? This is like a very sort of benefic energy when it comes to relationship. Something's very faded. If this has to do with career or money, this is money luck. Work you do begins to pay off, right? Some of you might be guided to begin a new business, or you find that you have some sort of hidden talent that you could put to good use, which is really nice. But it does seem like you've been putting something off. You belong in something, and you know what it is. This is the thing. I feel like most of you know what it is, but you are kicking the bucket down the road. Not staying in the toxic relationship, or not getting into a relationship, playing it safe and staying alone, not changing jobs, not making those changes that you need to make. It does seem like that's what's going on here. And really interesting to have this new moon eclipse happening in that 9th house of belief system with Mercury retrograde, and it's squaring that. What are you going to do now, Libra? And you're like, I don't know. But this is all part of the process. Just know that. If you're not making your mind up, actually, if you're confused, you're in a good space. If you are not confused at all, there I would worry, because things are so topsy-turvy energetically right now that the confusion is sort of in alignment with where we're all supposed to be right now, because things are changing. Think about things being up in the air, and they're sort of they're repositioning themselves, right? So if we start pulling things out of the confusion and saying this is how it's going to be, boom, 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 we may realize by the second week of July, like, what the hell did we do? Oh no, maybe I don't feel like that anymore. Or, ooh, I didn't realize this about this person or this situation. Ooh, I didn't think this one through well enough, right? So the confusion is just par for the course. Just know that it's okay. It's not going to last forever. Mercury will come out of retrograde. So wait till he comes out of that post-shadow. I know a lot of people, will say like the 3rd week in June, you know what, listen, with this one, because of Neptune and all of these wonky aspects, I would wait until that post-shadow finishes, the end of the 1st week of July, just to play it safe, if you can. Sometimes you can't. Let's go into a relationship, okay? Count your blessings. Count your blessings. Truth be told. It's funny. A lot of people are getting that energy. Truth be told. In a season of so much deceit. There just is. But a lot of it has to do with so many people just aren't even, it's like not even malice involved in it. It's like, you say things just to sort of get through a situation because you really don't know, Help from above, beautiful. Nice, okay. Count your Blessings. Truth be told, help from above. You've patience, stepping back, trying to figure out a different approach to the situation with those Four of Swords. Trying to be patient with the situation. Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune for some of you, if you're single right now, you might be thinking to get back with somebody. Others of you are in a space where you're considering, is what you're in right now, if it's not comfortable, you were able to reconcile the differences. Remember, it's a Jupiter energy, so it is a nice energy for you to be dealing with. It's all very fated, though. Everything's happening for a reason, right? The Wheel of Fortune. Turning point, you know? Turning point. In numerology, this is the Magician and the Sun. So you having all the tools in your toolbox to be able to crystallize what it is in your mind's eye. So there's going to be this need, though, Libra. You have to understand that while there's fate going on here, and there's good luck, and there's change, and there is this turning point and all of that, there is this need to take a chance on something. This need to take a chance. I'll just look here. I just feel like this week is going to remain rather confusing for you. Because the thing is this, it's like you want to take a chance on something, but you're scared about your security. And you're scared about what that means in the long term, you know? Which is normal. I mean, just as a human being, I could understand that energy for sure, right? Security, self-protection, really wanting to A, either watch your resources, or B, watch your heart, you know, watching your heart, making sure that you don't get hurt. You don't want to get hurt. But I feel like a lot of you would take a chance on something if it wasn't about, like, money might be a thing. Either you're afraid to leave a relationship because of money, in any way. Maybe you're afraid that, you know, if you divorce, splitting things up could get messy, or just wondering if you're going to be able to make it on your own, or wondering if you get into another connection, is somebody going to be taking advantage of you? Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be many of those things. But we have the Four of Pentacles and then the Five of Pentacles, a very psychological card, right? This is really feeling very tested. So again, the Pentacles doesn't have to be money. It can be mental, physical, emotional connection, in which case this would be just a lot of pain going on, you know, having a lot of pain, experiencing a lot of pain, maybe in the aftermath of a breakup for some of you. Others of you are feeling a real test of your resources, feeling financial issues, or at least fearing financial issues. Even if by all right you're fine, you might have that lack mentality, right, where you're just afraid of what's ahead. But for many of you, this is going to be the pain of the aftermath of a breakup, or maybe even a death. Some of you may be, you know, navigating the energies of having lost somebody, and that may be impacting the energy within a relationship as well. So we have this Ace of Cups here, though, which is great. I mean, the Ace of Cups is a water energy, obviously. So this could be a new relationship. This could also be a pregnancy, prioritizing parenting, fertility, meaning not only pregnancy, but the ability to grow within a relationship. But again, some of you may be very protective, feeling the sense of lack. I do want to say some of you may be getting back with somebody from the past, but in a new way. So we do have that wheel, and we have the Ace of Cups, so it's sort of like revisiting something, but after feeling this very much protecting self and feeling this element of loss from something else. So it's going to resonate with some of you. We have the Emperor here. Some of you are meeting somebody new, right? This is an Aries energy. So if you're single, again, this could be meeting somebody new who's great, who values tradition, really good. For others of you, if you're in a relationship, this could be future plans and very practical matters being addressed in your current relationship, and finding balance. Finding balance. Some of you guys might be getting pregnant, you know. Strength energy is a Leo. Leo is the 5th house, and 5th house is where we look for our children. So this is creativity, children, romance, patience, you know, strength. Unconditional love, lots of self-respect. But what this tells me, though, is if this has to do with a relationship, even if you're not in a relationship, there needs to be some sort of balancing out when it comes to relationship. Something needs balancing, you know. And if you're in a relationship that's been tested, things are going to get better if you can manage to balance out. And I want to be even more specific, balance out somebody's ego, because it looks like somebody needs their ego stroked a little bit here, you know. But we have this idea of feeling very protective of self, right? Protective. Am I going to have enough money? Am I going to be okay? I'm just not sure. So you're really trying to think of yourself, taking care of your finances, of your body, of your mind, of just your whole experience. Now, as an influence, this could indicate marriage or money coming to those of you who are coupled. This can indicate good financial management. This can indicate fertility, another fertility energy here. Libra, if you don't want to get pregnant, watch out. I'm just saying. Very interesting. Yeah. I'm just thinking about this for a second as well. Because we have the 5th house, which is Saturn, squaring Uranus, which has to do with, so it's intention. Yeah, I just see a lot of you thinking about having a child. A lot of you. I mean, obviously not everybody, depends on what age and stage you're at. Sorry for that delay. I was just thinking things through. But anyway, yes, so that could be that. Good sex life, very fertile energy, also for just growing a relationship. But, you know, you're thinking that. A lot of you may be thinking that, okay, I have to do the right thing for my life. And this is not to say that you're going to stay in a relationship only for the money. You're thinking about other things. You know, even if you're the primary breadwinner, even if it doesn't matter. But there's this element of confusion that's going on. Just are as commitment issues here. You know, you're not sure what you're feeling, really. Things feel up in the air and you're just really not sure. But what you can see is that you feel like you're at the beginning stages of something new. You do feel like that. So we have this energy of lack with the 5 of Pentacles, and that's being clarified by the 2 of Pentacles, which indicates a choice. So some sort of negotiation is going on regarding more than one path. So now this does not have to be between one partner and another partner, though it certainly can be. Should I stay in this marriage, this relationship, this whatever, or should I go in this direction? But it doesn't have to be. It really can be the 2 of Pentacles, feeling the sense, this lack of connection, where you're saying, you know what, I feel this lack of connection, so I don't know, should I really bother having a child at this point if I'm not feeling this connected in the way that I would like to? Or should we really be talking about getting married at this point, or buying that house, or doing that fill in the blank? You know, it really can be as simple as like, I don't know, you know, but you need to figure it out because we have the Judgment energy here. And this is, things are being assessed and shifting into a new phase. So this is all about assessing and letting go of the past and making a decision about the past and having a spiritual awakening and saying, we all did the best that we knew how in the moment. We might have screwed up. We might have made 100 mistakes. But right now, where we are, we don't have to allow that past to dictate the future. What are we going to do? And some of you are going to say, I'm really sorry. I can't be in this anymore. I need to go. You know, too many times around, too many, you know, shows at the rodeo at this point, can't do it anymore. Others of you are going to say, all right, let's just try to find forgiveness and make it work, because you feel it in your heart that it's something that you want. You feel like it's not done. You feel it for the right reasons. Pluto energy. Pluto rules Scorpio, modern ruler of Scorpio. Endings and beginnings, regeneration. Now, sometimes things need to end and you need to regenerate yourself somewhere else. So other times things need to end, have a little bit of breathing room, go through a trippy time, and then you guys reconnect, right, later on at that point. So we have the Ace of Cups. So this new beginning, it's being clarified by the Queen of Wands. So it's about you stepping into your power and you having a lot of strength right now to make things happen in the relationship in the way that you would really like, because you're recognizing this is something that you need to do. You can't play these games with yourself anymore. And guys, a lot of you are honestly, this is a beautiful energy. This is, some of you are just going to be like, come on, let's just do it. Let's get married. Recognizing that you are involved in a very important relationship and you're in the space where you want to move on to realize your plans. So you might be dealing, though, with an unconventional person or situation. So if you're in a situation where you've met somebody else outside the marriage or outside the relationship, you may be leaning towards going with that person, you know, which can end up being this sort of unconventional, non-traditional sort of thing. Because this is the thing you have to understand about the three of it's a great energy, right? Great Sun and Aries energy. So it's Sun shines on this idea of fresh path, new perspective. Come on, let's go. See, he's turning his back on the past, and he's looking at his emotions, as confused as they are. Clearly they are, if you see that, right? But this ship represents a new life. So it's him turning his back on the past and saying, come on, let's go. I need new. Let's go. So some of you are going to be having this new start with a partner. Others of you are going to be going off in a very different direction. But either way, it does look like this is a very positive energy. So whatever you're deciding is going to end up really going quite well. And that's all under the help from above energy. So really being honest with yourself, with this truth be told. And, you know, focus on the good things in your life and not only the bad. Very easy to get caught up in the challenges, right, of a moment. And it's easy to sort of now recognize the beautiful things that are going on. All right. You know, maybe you have a very supportive friend circuit or family or both. And people have your back no matter what it is that you're going through. And that could certainly help situations. Okay, so why don't we move forward into career? Reach for the stars. Yes. Very nice. Let's pull one of each for these. Reach for the stars. Nice energy. Come to the edge. These are all things that are like, that thing that you're kind of scared of doing, that you feel like you shouldn't do or you can't do. That's the very direction you should be going towards. You feel trapped. Ooh, entrapment. What are you trapped in? Yeah, definitely feeling like you need to at least throw a different flavor into whatever you're doing now. Maybe you know, adding a new way of doing something differently, changing lanes altogether. Knight of Cups having to do with the new proposal coming in, but you're very confused. We have that Neptune energy. You're afraid that if you end up following it, whatever it is that's on your heart right now, you may end up having to martyr yourself or sacrifice what it is that you ultimately want. Stay in something. So we have, again, this Knight of Cups. We have the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Emperor. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, very strong feeling here with these corners. You are thinking, you might not be talking a lot about something that you want to do. You want to take the bull by the horns, be a leader in your own life, but you might not be talking about it very much here, right? We have the Knight of Cups, very nice energy as far as some sort of new proposal coming in, something new that's really going to speak to your heart space. We have the Page of Cups as well. Very good news, having to do with a new job, some sort of new money opportunity, something like that. So you're doing a lot of thinking. High Priest is very creative energy as well, but you're just not sure. You're not sure because at the end of the day, we also have the Queen of Cups here. It's clarifying it, right? And the Queen of Cups is a Gemini and Cancer energy, which has to do with you having that conversation about what it is that you need to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. And have, you know, because you know what it takes to have a life. Keeping it real. Bills, whatever it is. And you're just afraid, like, all right, if I do that job just for the money, am I going to end up sacrificing what I really want to do? But then, if I don't do that, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for my life? And that could be very, very challenging. It really can. Look at these two center cards. We have the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Holy cow. So the Seven of Swords, careful here, careful, all right? So we have the Seven of Swords here. This is theft. Like, this is dishonesty. This is more running away. So this could be a person overstepping boundaries or being selfish, and you need your instincts and your wits to figure out the real truth of a situation. So you might need to play somebody at their own game to find out what it is that you need to know. Now, this is involving anything having to do with money, your career, anything in that area. Your career might be fabulous. This might have something to do with some sort of financial circumstance in your personal life, or having to do with your family, and somebody looking to be a little dishonest with you, or a lot of dishonest. And this is somebody who, first of all, expect the unexpected with this energy. This is somebody who's very unpredictable, you know, up and down, kind of all over the place, right? They come in there very determined and driven and forthright, and this is what I want, and this is what I believe, and then they create a lot of drama, and they take no responsibility for it. Very, very kind of messy energy, very messy energy. So here you're like, you know what, with the Judgment energy, Judgment energy, like, really good for you, right? Because I just feel like you're going to get acknowledgement for your success coming in. I do feel like finances are going to be improving, but it's only going to be as a result of allowing something to go, right? Because this is really about assessing and letting go of the past and whatever's been happening. Okay, fine. Judgment energy is like, I did what I did. I'm not going to let that thing dictate my future. And you making these real decisions to move forward. And I feel like you will be, right? Here we have the Three of Wands again here. So, yeah, this is one of the good fortune cards. Thriving business, busy, intense period. You know, moving on to realize your plans. But doing something different, right? I mean, remember I said this is an energy of turning your back on the past and just focusing on the future. You're going to be able to do something I just feel like very successfully. So the three of Pentacles, very nice Mars and Capricorn energy. So this is you collaborating with somebody. I don't see you doing something alone. This is more like a collaborative effort. So maybe either, you know, joining a new company, getting a new business partner, doing something with somebody, and just putting a lot of hard work that's going to end up paying off. You have to be patient though, because you're not going to get the payoff immediately. So there's a lot of potential for success. So whatever your situation is in this energy, don't give up, right? Your future self is definitely going to thank you. So we do have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is very much about collaborating with somebody, and the Emperor is very much about being your own boss. So I just feel like going into business with somebody or having some sort of idea, right? If it doesn't have anything to do with business, this could also be you having a meeting of the minds with somebody to figure out and strategize how things are going to be moving forward financially for the two of you, or for whatever situation it is, that family situation. Maybe it is sitting down and having that awkward conversation about money if you know that you're ending a relationship, but it's sitting down and having that very, very important conversation. And the thing though is you might be dealing with Libra, you know, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a very heavy Aries energy here, probably because of the Emperor. Somebody's going to be, all right, I want to be careful with how I say this. Deceitful. Somebody's going to be very deceitful when it comes to something regarding money. Even if they're acting like they're very agreeable, they're very above board, there's almost like this subtext that's going to be going on for them. And you know what? It's going to be fine. Because if you know that, as long as you go in, okay, be suspicious of everything. I'm so sorry. That is such a negative thing to say, but I can't emphasize enough. Avoid being gullible right now. Avoid, avoid, avoid. And make it all about caution and honesty. Because this is the thing. You do feel trapped right now. You want to come to the edge. You want to do what's speaking to your heart. You want to just break out of something. You do. But there are some really very real life concerns here regarding you being able to just, you know, willy-nilly go off and do your own thing. But it looks like somebody's going to try to make it very difficult for you. So I don't know if that's a business partner, if that's a marital partner, or just a relationship partner or a family member. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. You know? I feel like that. Let me just want to feel like I'm Virgo, second house. Yeah, the South Node. Yeah, I mean, the South Node is all about needing to release something. Virgo is about solving problems, right? It's the 6th house energy, which is where Neptune is, where you're having this lack of clarity. And the second house has to do with money and things that matter to you. So it really is going to be about you sitting down to reassess what it is that you're willing to change and walk away from, for the time, knowing that something will end up being rebuilt in a better way in the future. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.